All right, talking about a pair of chords today that aren't as related as you might think, looking at the groups of notes, but let's delve into them in a couple of different videos. This first video, we're going to talk about the Mi 5/3 chord and say some interesting things about this particular chord. It drives Romorians a little bit nuts, but we can handle it. So let's start by going to the whiteboard here and talk about the Mi 5/3. Which is to say, thanks, whiteboard. Mi 5/3 has the note Sol, and up a fifth from Mi is T. Now this is an interesting chord because, first of all, in our rule of the octave, we generally expect there to be a Mi 6/3, Mi, Sol, and Do. We're used to our tonic triad. We like to have those notes together, Mi, Sol, and Do. Something really odd happens with Mi, Sol, and T. And that is, 2/3 of this chord, Mi and Sol, is tonic. And so there's a question, is it tonic? But 2/3 of this chord, Sol and T, we're used to seeing Sol, T, and Re. So we're used to seeing Sol, T, Re as a chord. We're used to seeing Do, Mi, Sol as a chord. And so we have this weird dichotomy in this chord. Is it tonic or is it dominant? Is it an authentic function chord? The answer is it depends entirely on context. We're going to start off by looking at the Mi 5/3, and then we'll look at some other related things. So let's just go back here to our Mi 5/3 chord. The Mi 5/3 chord it acts as a substitute for subs for Mi 6/3. And it changes the color a little bit. Now we've seen a similar color substitution happen before. We've seen the color substitution Fa 5/3 and Fa 6/3. We've seen the color substitution T 6/3 and its color sub T 5/3. And so it's very common for chords to have color substitutions having the 5/3 above the note instead of the 6/3 in the note, and they just create different colors really of the same chord. And so the Mi 5/3 acts as the Mi 6/3 and can be used in most contexts where the Mi 6/3 could be used. Obviously you wouldn't use it if you have a Do in your melody because the T would clash with the Do, but its most common context is in the middle of what we call a leaping Romanesca. And we started talking about the leaping Romanesca last week because we were talking about the La 5/3 chord. Pushing that button. Leaping Romanesca, which is to say, Do, Sol, La, Mi. The Pachelbel canon. If you want to have a blast, go look up Pachelbel Rant on YouTube and be amazed at how many songs you know have this leaping Romanesca chord progression in it. And they're all 5/3s. And so the Mi 5/3 here works very nicely. I've got a Mi in the bass, and to keep the 5/3 character of everything else running, I just do that. I could put a nice little melody above it. Do, Ti, Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Mi, Re, Do, Sol, Do. The bass line Do, Sol, La, Mi. Do, Re, Mi, Re, Do, Ti. Would sound fantastic. Or Do, Ti, La, Sol. All of those sounds fantastic. And of course, that's the Pachelbel canon, is those parallel thirds over the top of that leaping Romanesca bass line. Let's take a look at a piece of music that uses that, and let's hear what that Mi 5/3 sounds like in context. And I'm going to pull in here. We'll just grab our PDF. I scanned in Karpinski melody number 962. And we're just going to go ahead and pop this in here. And just we can put it over the top of our notes, that's fine. Oh, and get it positioned and zoomed properly. There we go. All right, so we're just taking a look through this piece. I see it's got 3 flats. We end on an E flat. Looks like we're in E flat major, yes. Mi, La, Ti, sol, fa, mi, re, do. Just trying to find a good key for this do, ti, do, re, mi, fa, mi, re, do, sol, do. I don't know if that's a key of E flat major. I really don't, but it'll work for today. Do, mi. All right, let's walk through the melody. Mi, re, do. So kind of implying, you know, this do 5/3 chord. Do, mi, la. So it's like if there's a 5/6 shift through the course of this measure. So it's just a little color change as we leap up to that la. We're going to hear the la as an unstable note resolving down to the sol, re, sol, re. There's the sol chord, sol, ti, re, sol 5/3. Do, do, ti, la, do. There's that, there's the Romanesca here. I see the Romanesca emerging. Mi, re, do, sol, la, mi. And there's a mi in the melody, so it would work very well to do mi 5/3 chord there. It would work very nicely. And, you know, just looking through, I'm going to hear that fa wanting to resolve to the mi. Re, la, that's outlining re, fa, la. There's our re, fa, la chord, our re 5/3 type chord. And here comes the really interesting moment right here. Ti, sol, mi, mi, sol, ti, sol, mi. There's that mi 5/3 chord, just outlined, arpeggiated very nicely. All right, so let's just kind of walk through the melody. Mi, fa, mi, re, do, ti, do, sol, do, mi, mi, re, do, mi, la, sol, re, do, do, ti, la, do, fa, mi, re, la, sol, la, ti, sol, mi, sol. Isn't that a beautiful moment? Ti, sol, mi, sol, ti, sol, mi, sol, ti. That unresolved T, really sad, which makes sense because the lyrics are about the end of the world. Mi, la, sol, fa, mi, re, mi, fa. Mi, mi, re, do, mi, la, sol, re. Do, do, ti, la, do, fa, mi. Re, la, sol, la, ti, sol, mi, sol. Mi, la, fa, re, do, ti, re, do, re, do. And there it is, you know, hearing those chord arpeggiations, the la, fa, re, the ti, sol, mi. Very, very, very sad section of the song. Seems appropriate for the pandemic, doesn't it? But there's hope out there too, because the birds do go on singing, the sun does go on shining, the sea rushes to the shore. You know, just because it's the end of the world for us doesn't mean it's the end of the world, really. And hopefully you're doing fine. You know, another song, End of the World as You Know It, and I'm doing fine. So, let's go ahead and move that out of the way again. Yeah, so it's used a lot in the Leaping Romanesca, which we just heard in the middle of that song. That song was emphasizing a Leaping Romanesca at the beginning. Substitute for the Mi 6/3, Mi 5/3, Mi 6/3, similar colors. I should point out the technical term, just because you gotta love German, right? You see how it's the same chord, it has the Mi and the sol, except you've substituted, you don't have the do, the tonic, you have the T, the leading tone. And so in German, this swap between this chord here, this color shift from the do to the T like that, with the other notes being held the same, is what we call the Leitonwechsel. And it's where the Mi 6/3 becomes a Mi 5/3. Leiton, leading tone. Wechsel, basically exchange, they're trading. And what you're doing is you're trading the do for the T. And it's an interesting relationship. Neo-Riemannian theory holds that there are three basic transformations. The parallel, we're used to parallel major, parallel minor, we use that a lot. Relative, and we talk about the relative major and the relative minor a lot as well. This is the third of the Neo-Riemannian operators, the Leitonwechsel, and it starts getting used a little bit more in the 19th century than in previous centuries. And it's really interesting, it's really colorful, it shows up a lot in film music. And this is the Leitonwechsel today, is the Mi 5/3 chord. In our second video, we're going to take a look at Mi, Sol, and Ti rearranged, completely different chord. So don't let the Roman numerals, Roman numerals, it's a 5/3 chord, so we're going to go with the Mi as the third degree of the scale. It's a minor chord, so we're going to call it a minor 3, substituting for 1/6. But don't let this Roman numeral throw you, because the next chord we're going to look at is entirely different. Romellian third tell you it's the same thing, it's the same Roman numeral, but it's an entirely different chord. Trust me, you'll find out shortly.